Eagle Nation. Eagle Neighbor. Eagle Nation. Eagle Neighbor.
House. We got Annabelle. She's back home. Y'all see her. Welcome home, Annabelle. Of course, she is not completely full, and we're going to go into some of that and the details leading to that. But Annabelle, for the most part, is back home. Come on, y'all. Let's give us a thumbs up and applause that Annabelle is back home, y'all. These chickens fed. Hey, chicks. Good morning, good morning. Y'all ready to eat? Y'all ready to grab something to eat? See what we got here, y'all. I think you could use a little bit more. Hey, chick. How you doing? Don't be sneaky and don't jump on me. We'll be all right, okay? Let's see if I can get this done with one hand. Don't walk up on me now. Well, like I told you before, don't walk up on me. We have some problems. See what we got over here. We got one. We got 3 in here. Pretty good, girls. So we got 4 for today. 3 hens and 4 eggs. Not bad at all. I'm gonna have to bring y'all some water a little bit later. All right, excuse me. Let me get through. Move back. I'll be back with some water. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. I know you. Always trying to slip out. All right. So we got, as you can see, got a bunch of projects. Working on trying to move forward with our little cabana up there by the RV. I got to get started on storage shed. So if I can get some of these projects knocked out, at least the large part of it, I'll be in good shape. And yeah, so let's have a conversation. We'll come back. Okay. So for the well house, got me a solar panel battery connected to the generator. I'm gonna run me some of my solar panels. I got them up there. I'm gonna run my solar panels up here to keep that battery charged. And now, when I used to have to pull on the cord and all that good stuff, now all I have to do is just put that choke in. Yep, the choke wasn't on. Like that. Here's another project that I'm working on. It's always projects. And yes, I have a bunch of projects. And do I finish them? Eventually I do. But do I start on one and stop? Oh, of course I do that. You got to maintain the motivation and the prep, you know. If you do one thing, it seems like it takes forever. But I kind of balance. So there was a tree. That's part of that tree right there. Pine tree was probably pretty much this tall because they both clash. So I dug a little trench with the tractor, and it was blocking my entryway to here because I love this spot right here. I know I'm always kind of leaning towards this spot, but I really have a view or a vision of putting a nice little cabin tucked away back here. But so I moved this tree right here, so now I got a full open area that I could just drive on in, right? I still got to smooth all this stuff out. But like I said, I had to dig a trench so I can push this tree over. I pushed this cedar tree over. Gonna cut that up. That's gonna be great for some fire. This is the top half of the pine tree. I broke it in half with the tractor. And here's the root, and it goes all the way up into the woods. So I broke it in half from this part and I pushed it back. But I don't know if you see the vision, but I would love to sit a nice little cabin right here. Maybe an A-frame or a nice little lean-to right up in here, just tucked away. And just be a nice little cove just to kind of put everything. And can you imagine getting everything kind of cleared out right up in here? Not real cleared out, but just lightly cleared. It'll be like a cabin in the woods. And this will be the scenery, you know? And if you look at that, I think that'll be nice sitting back up in here with the scenery like that. It's kind of tucked away. Seems like you're in the middle of a forest, but in reality, you're nowhere from the rest of the homestead. You know, you just drive right on in here, come on in here, park right there, open this all up, put some walking trails all up through here, trails all up through there. I got one trail all the way up right here. I'm working on it. Still a lot to do. I'm gonna show you this trail. But imagine a nice little deck, or maybe even a wraparound deck for this little cottage. And then you can get out, walk out in the back of the deck. And right here is where I'm starting to build my walking trail. So yeah, all of this is going to get cleaned out. But right through here. And then we're going to wind up around there. And then we're going to connect to another trail that I got. I'm really excited. And look how beautiful that is in the planet, nestled in the planet pines. I simply love it. And you can still hear Sean in the background. So I'll let you know, if you get turned around, you can always find your way back just by listening to Sean. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I can just see that cottage sitting right up in here. Clear this out a little bit, clear a lot of that out, clean up all the way around here, and then just have it kind of nestled in right there. Set these right up here. Some beautiful eggs. These chicken lay some beautiful eggs. I just would like it without the cream on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got some 2x8s, 2x8x8s. I got some 3/4 plywood for the flooring, and I got some 2x8x10s. And so this is what we're going to be working on this right here, this structure here. So this is pretty much in front of the RV. We're going to do some outdoor living, expand our space. We're so limited with space. So the goal is to put in some flooring here, put in all my flooring here, and then we're going to do like a little lean-to, and it's going to be your decking, the flooring going to be there. Then we're going to put, I'm probably going to put like a poly roof so we can get that natural sunlight. And we're going to screen in this area eventually, phase by phase. Like I said, I'm going little bit by little bit. The key is to put a floor in, to put at least the framing for the roof. And yeah, so that's that one project. So the key is me and Gigi and the fam, we can come out here and we can sit, and eventually we'll be outside away from the bugs, and that'll be cool. Okay, so let's have a conversation. These are some things that happen, and I know I'm probably repeating myself, but I want to kind of sit down and talk to you about some blessings that happened this week. First thing, I've been thinking about that power situation. We always, from the beginning, wanted electricity accessibility, but we just wanted to live as long as possible off grid, and then also blend it between on grid and off grid. So just keep everything kind of balanced, not to be so dependent on electricity, and see can we truly do it, which we found out we can definitely do it without a doubt. We made it through the summer. The heat was extreme this year. It was well over 100. It was in the 110s, sometimes a little bit hotter. And then we also made it through hurricane. We made it through winter. Winter got down to 17 degrees for multiple days. So we really learned a lot. We really learned a lot about this location and off-grid living. So I think now we are at the point now that we can slowly integrate some other alternatives. And the key is to have a bunch of alternatives. We want to have so many alternatives. So if electricity go down, no problem. If the generators go down, no problem. If the solar panels go down, no problem. If the I'm trying to remember what batteries go down, no problem. We have something for every situation. I feel pretty good on that. Now the electricity, I don't foresee it happening no time soon, because it's a lot of money that I'm going to have to come up with to get the right of way. I'm going to need a lot of time, and I'll put in a lot of hours to get the money saved for that. That's going to be a major project. But let's talk about, so the electrical company says you're going to have to pay for the right of way. You're going to have to pay for the poles. You're going to have to pay for everything. And then guess what? The nearest spot where you can get electricity is my. So this is the nearest power line to the property, and this is my neighbor's property. They have a large amount of property all over here. My neighbor owns hundreds of acres, and basically what I have to do is get a right-of-way established. So all of this has to be cut down all the way through here. 30 feet easement has to be cut all the way through here, and all of this is his land. And he's been so gracious that he told me whatever it takes, he's willing to sign the documentation, whatever, to get us some power to our property. And I'm gonna have to come all the way and pay for clearing all the way up through here. And right about, let's see, right about, make sure I'm right, not mistaken, right about here is where my property kind of begins, right up in here. So all of this, I'm gonna have to get all this cleared out, okay? So yeah, a lot of work to do, y'all. Almost in the center of his property next to me, which is about 80 acres, all right? So in the center of the property, I'm gonna have to go pretty much another 40 acres, well, not 40 acres, but frontage from his property, middle ways, all the way to my property. And I'm gonna show you where I kind of have a plan to kind of border everything up, and at the border I'm going to cut through the property instead of going directly in front of the property. I'm going to cut through the property and lead the power directly to where we're going to be established at. Number two, I went early one morning, I went to his establishment, and guess what happened? I met my neighbor. I met him before in passing. He was in his field one time and he spoke to us, and he said welcome, whatever. But this guy, he's been a farmer pretty much all his life. He owns a peanut mill. He owns a bunch of different stuff, right? This guy was so amazing. I met this guy at his peanut mill. They was harvesting peanuts and processing. And I told him about my dilemma, about I need permission or I need an easement. And typically, let me share something with you. People have the right to charge you, whether leasing. They have the right to you buy or acquire that land. They have a right to do a lot of stuff. They don't have to give you that right to the property. This man was amazing. He said, whatever you need. He said, no, we got to have power to your property. He said, go ahead. I'll sign. I'll do whatever documentation needs to be done. But yeah, go ahead and clear your right of way. He said, the only thing I'm asking that you all clean up behind yourself. So when you clean this property, clean up behind yourself. man, my heart like to jump through my chest because I didn't expect it for it to be that easy. So there's some documentation I'm gonna have to put together. I'll share with you all the process of that. But I think that's gonna take me honestly, maybe a year or two before I'll be able to get that cleared out. I'm hoping it won't take me that long, but I gotta save up a lot of money and I'm gonna have to pay some people. I'm not gonna be able to do the majority of the work myself. So the poles are like 18 feet. I have no way I can place those poles. I gotta buy the poles, and typically a pole costs a little bit under $600 per pole, and I'm not sure how many poles I need. I know it's gonna be well over 10 probably. So that's gonna be some cost. Clearing the land is gonna be some cost. I'm gonna try to do all the clearing on my property that I can do. So that's one of the things that'll save some costs. And that's where we are with electricity, okay? So keep that in mind whenever you get ready. Make sure your lines that cross your property or intersects in your property are residential lines and not transfer lines. Now let's spin to the tractor. I'm going to share with you about the tractor. The tractor is so amazing. It's cool. I'm glad to have Annabelle back. So y'all check it out, and we're going to go for a walk, and I'll tell you what happened with the tractor. Right. Let me take you. I want to talk to you for a minute and tell you about some blessings that happened. Not only did I get Annabelle back, right? But what happened was I went to check Annabelle before they delivered Annabelle, right? And come to find out, Annabelle was not put together to my satisfaction or Gigi's satisfaction. So Gigi and I, we kind of double teamed up on them in a positive way. But we pointed out some issues that we saw with Annabelle and things that did not meet our expectations. We communicated. They ended up getting about 4 or 5 people involved. And the shop manager, he said, look, bottom line, we missed some things, y'all. And I understand y'all been without the tractor for a little while. So how about I deliver it, which is not next door. You got to pay for delivery, but how about I go ahead and I deliver it. And once I deliver it, when we get the parts in, because we don't know when the parts, because we've been waiting 2 months just to get these parts in. But once we get the parts in, then I will have it picked up and then delivered back complete. How about that? Man, that's customer service. It's not about you missing the mark, but it's what you do if things don't go right, because things will not go right all the time. And that does not mean that that's a bad company or there's things beyond their control. But what they did, they were professionals and they just provided great customer service. I am so pleased with them. So this is an area that I'm opening up, and this will be the beginning of some of the electrical. The roadway is here, runs here, but I want to, instead of running alongside the roadway, my goal is to open this section up over here by this tree. And when I open this section up, I want to go down through here and go all the way down to the well, the RV, and that empty area. So my goal is I want to do this, but I'm going to have to pay somebody to do the rest of it on his property all the way through, because, you know, it needs to be done in a professional manner. Not to say I can't do it, but my tractor is just simply not designed for this type of work. And I'm going to try my best to go easy through this process. I did this just since yesterday. I know it may not look like a lot, but it looked like this yesterday. But this part right here was already done from back there. I've cleared this section out, and then got this section. And all this stuff like this is nothing but debris. I just get this, stack it up, cut it up, and then stack it up and then burn it. I'm trying to remember how to drive this thing, y'all.